And just like that, she had no friends. Here's just one example of the awfulness that was brought on by her wedding. And I've known her since before her first wedding and she wasn't like this, and I know that there were a lot of outside factors that contributed to her awfulness and I don't really want to get into all of that, but I will tell you the story. Strap in, babes. She had to have a party for everything. And one of those was a tea party at a very fancy location in a very rich area of our state. You had to get tables in fours and it worked for our party because we were just doing the bridal party and her mother and her daughter, 7 total. Unfortunately, one of the bridesmaids couldn't make it that day and my friend lost her mind because she absolutely had to have the right number of people, so she just invited one of her friends out of the blue and their daughter. They show up, they're kind of sneezy and coughing and they tell everyone that they're not feeling great. This is 2021. I'm sure you can see where this is going. We go to have tea. Everything is lovely. We're all dressed up. We get our pictures taken, and then she decides that the food wasn't enough at the tea party, and I mean, to be honest, it was finger sandwiches that you got 2 of and like a few cookies, so yes, it wasn't enough to feed you a lunch. So we decide to get lunch at a restaurant down the street after tea. Since there's 8 of us, we decide to cram into a booth with a table attached to it, so there's 4 on one side and 4 on the other and we're all stuck together and there's not a lot of wiggle room, but we do what we can and we have lunch. This is Saturday. I leave, I drive an hour and a half back to where I live. It's been a lovely day and I'm riding the high of, oh my god, this was actually really fun and no one had a temper tantrum or cried. So I called it a win. I enjoy the rest of my weekend and then it's work week. Tuesday morning I get a phone call and it's her and our mutual friend and they are calling me because the person that she brought to the party had COVID and she wanted to let me know, while she was giggling about it, that I need to go get tested because we all need to get tested now, and she says it as if it's some kind of joke. Now neither her nor our friend work, which is fine for our friend, she's independently wealthy, she doesn't need to. But I do. I am not laughing while she's telling me this. In fact, I am starting to get more and more pissed off. I don't think it's funny and I'm mad at her for having to have 8 people and not 6, which would have been totally fine, because now I have to go tell my boss that I need to get tested for COVID, which means that I have to leave work and I don't know how long I'll be out for. So I hang up the phone and I knock on their door and I let them know what's going on. As you probably know, they're not extremely happy about it, but they understood that I was in a wedding and this was part of it, and I've gotten their permission to do these multiple people activities because I was under the impression that everyone was COVID-free and vaccinated up. Come to find out that one of the bridal party doesn't believe in vaccination, so that was fun also. I leave work, I go get tested, and I'm told I'll know in 24 hours. I go home. I tell my husband I stay in the guest room overnight. He gets tested too. Fortunately neither one of us have COVID. I was supposed to take work off on Thursday of the same week anyway to go down to where she lives and have my hair done by her stylist that I've never met before. They call the stylist and tell them that they are not able to go because they weren't able to get a test fast enough. I was able to get one like 10 minutes after I got a phone call. So I am still able to have my appointment as long as I wear a mask. I get to my appointment.